Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Elizabeth. I normally make motherhood and mom videos, so if you like that kind of content, make sure you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Today I'm exactly 23 weeks pregnant. My sister's dog Tori is staying with us this week, just for fun. So she might make a little bit of an appearance. She doesn't know what she wants to do. She's just gonna, you can come sit with me? Okay. Right now my baby is about the size of a grapefruit, which I eat grapefruit occasionally, but that's probably going to make me crave grapefruit. I've been very suggestible as far as foods. I might as well go ahead and talk about my cravings this week. I haven't had a lot of cravings this pregnancy, but I did this week crave those buttery Ritz crackers. When I was a kid, I used to either dip them in peanut butter or like put cheese on them or cheese and lunch meat and make my own little Lunchables because Lunchables were always too expensive. We couldn't have those. Plus they were probably ridiculously processed. Anyway, I bought a box of just the Aldi generic version, which tastes exactly the same. It probably is the same. But I got those and I've been dipping them in peanut butter or almond butter. I want to cut up some cheese and try it with that soon. It's just been a good little afternoon snack when I just want something small to fill my stomach. As far as symptoms this week, I haven't had a lot, but I have noticed I've started to have Braxton Hicks contractions. I've only noticed 3 in the past 2 weeks, but they're definitely Braxton Hicks. My first pregnancy, I didn't notice them until about my 3rd trimester, but now I definitely know what they are. I probably had them in my 2nd trimester with my first pregnancy. I just wasn't sure if they were Braxton Hicks or not. But basically Braxton Hicks, it is your uterus tightening and getting ready for real labor. It's not actually labor or making you dilate or anything like that. Your uterus gets really tight and hard, and if you push on it, you can feel the tightness. There's no pain associated with it, just tightness. Some people have them a lot, so they get uncomfortable. Like I said, I've only had a few. Usually if you are having a lot, it'll be like you're sitting on the couch, and if you get up, have some water, walk around, they usually will go away. That's what I noticed when I had them a lot later on in my first pregnancy. And then also a few days ago, I noticed I had a bit of cramping one morning. It wasn't really painful or anything. I don't know if it was maybe just the baby like sitting in a funny position, or if it was related to my stomach because I had some breakfast and then I felt perfectly fine. So I guess it was just a freak thing. And then the one other, I guess, kind of symptom that I've had is that 2 weeks ago, I thought I had a chiropractor appointment scheduled for this week, but then I actually didn't when I went in the week before, and then she was already filled up. But I asked to be put on the cancellation list. And sure enough, last Wednesday, they called me around 11 o'clock saying that they had a 12 o'clock open. And that actually worked out perfectly because I had my toddler, Dominic, scheduled to get his flu shot at 11:15. And that doctor is only a few minutes from the chiropractor's office. Now, of course, my doctor's office is always running late. I'm probably actually going to change the doctor that I take Dominic to. But anyway, luckily they were running it was like 20 minutes late, and I didn't have to see a doctor to get his flu shot, just the nurse was going to do it. So I asked, I'm like, we're trying to make an appointment at noon. Is anyone going to be able to see us soon? And they said, oh, they're sure enough, they're on their way back. So I don't know if they really were or if they just, got somebody to get me since I said something. But regardless, we got Dominic his flu shot. He did great. He just cried for a couple seconds and he was perfectly fine. He didn't run a fever or anything like that from it. And then we were able to make it to the chiropractor appointment actually a couple minutes early. And then the day after that, I had my prenatal appointment. I also got my flu shot at my prenatal appointment. I highly recommend just getting the flu shot in general, but especially if you're pregnant, assuming that you don't have any family history of bad reactions, because some people do have bad reactions to flu vaccinations or other vaccinations. But for me personally, I feel like it's really important to get the flu shot and the other standard vaccinations because I don't have a family history of having any bad reactions or any really negative things happening at all from vaccines. So I think it's super important for people like that to get the vaccines so we can help protect people that can't get it, whether they are immunocompromised or too young or they have a history of bad family reactions. So that's why I choose to get my shots. And also for the flu and pregnancy, when you're pregnant, it's really rough to be sick. And I actually had the cold a couple times when I was pregnant with Dominic, and just that hit me harder than a normal sickness when I'm not pregnant. And I've heard horror stories about people getting the flu when they're pregnant and having a really bad time. So I think it's super important to get the flu shot while you're pregnant so you lower the chance of getting the flu. Also, there are associations of high fever leading to birth defects, and since the flu can cause a high fever, that could have negative consequences for your baby if you do catch the flu while you're pregnant. So of course, talk to your care provider, but that is something that I am very passionate about, and I get the flu shot every year, whether or not I'm pregnant. Then also on my prenatal appointment, I talked to my midwife about gestational diabetes, because that will be coming up here in a few weeks. The gestational diabetes test. I talked to another midwife about alternatives, and I talked to her again just to make sure we're all on the same page. Some midwives will offer an alternative of like drinking 50 grams of sugar worth of orange juice or grape juice, or eating like jelly beans, pancake breakfast, something like that has the 50 grams of sugar. But at my midwife's office, they don't offer that as an alternative. They do let you do the finger pricking test. Now, I'll have to do it. So I'll have to do it several times a day for, I think she said 10 to 14 days, and then she'll review the results and make sure that everything's normal. But I'm totally fine with that. I'd much rather do that than drink the glucola drink. So I think in about a month or so, I'll be doing that. At my prenatal appointment, when my midwife went to use her Doppler to see the baby's heartbeat, my baby kept kicking and squirming around, and she said I was about 22 and a half weeks at the time. She commented that that's really unusual for a baby at that young of a gestational age to be moving around so much and making that much movement. And I would definitely agree that this baby is a lot more active than Dominic was. In fact, at 14 and a half weeks, I was able to feel her kick with my hand being on my stomach from the outside, which is not very common, but it was definitely a baby kick. And then really the only other thing that's going on this week is I'll be hiring my doula. I already talked to her. I'll be using the same doula that I used for Dominic. We'll be having a video chat this week to figure out a little bit of a plan and how we want to move forward. I did check with my hospital and make sure that they are currently allowing doulas. Of course, anything could change a few months from now, but as of right now, they are allowing a partner and a doula. That's the most people that you can have in the labor room, but that's all that I had for Dominic and all I would want, other than, of course, the hospital staff. But, of course, I wanted to make sure that doulas would be allowed in the delivery room before I hired one. I definitely recommend having a doula for everyone, and especially if you are planning to have an unmedicated birth. My doula was super helpful with Dominic. We did a lot with her the first pregnancy. She gave us a birth class in our house and did a lot of preparation and kind of figuring out what's going to be going on. She's also a lactation consultant, so she was able to help some with nursing afterwards. So that's why I decided to have her as my doula again this time. And she was super helpful while I was in labor too. She came to our house while I was in labor for a couple hours. I actually labored at home for most of the time with Dominic. And then she told me, okay, we need to get to the hospital or this is going to be a home birth. At some point, I'll post my full birth story with Dominic. It's pretty crazy. But anyway, then she came to the hospital with us. She really helped me with breathing patterns and what way that I would breathe would help the most with the contractions and the pushing. I did not have an epidural with Dominic. I think that everyone should birth however they want to. I just decided with Dominic that I wanted to try to do it unmedicated, and I was able to. It was pretty crazy. I don't know that I could have done it without having a doula there. Also this week, I got a few new seasonal maternity shirts, and I got some new baby clothes for our baby girl. I went through all of Dominic's old clothes and organized it, and a lot of what we had for him was relatively gender neutral, like animals and patterns and things like that, so that we can keep. But I did want to get some clothes that were a little bit more girly for our girl. And Dominic needed a couple things too. So I think I might do a haul video at some point this week or in the next couple of weeks and show you all the cool stuff that I got. That's about everything for this week, so I'll show you the bump now. I feel like it's about the same size as last week. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.